disaster in the kitchen. Does anybody here drink bulletproof coffee?
No, but I suspect we're going to start. It didn't involve anything with your neighbor's dogs and cats, did it?
No, so I make bulletproof coffee, and I'm bulletproof coffee is coffee with grass-fed butter, coconut oil, and I put a little bit of almond butter in there, and I put it all in the blender, and it went like this. Now I make it all the time, but today it decided to go, and it just went all over my kitchen, so I had a bit of a coffee disaster on my hands. But what do you do? How's everybody doing?
Wasting perfectly good coffee.
I am Brian.
Living the dream.
Good, good. Ryan, thanks for unblocking me there.
Of course, Nelson. Thanks for fixing your little pop-up problem.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have that problem today. I mean, I have no idea how that happened.
I want everyone to turn their attention to our neighborhood-friendly Sean Coyne, who is playing video games while on a hangout. This is how badass Sean Coyne is. He's
I'm
able
done
to
now.
do
I'm playing Donkey Kong 64.
Awesome. Hey, Anthony, it looks like you're on here twice, which may be taking up a spot. Do you mind if I try and remove the version of you that's not moving? It might end up booting both of you, but I want to open up that spot if it's...
Okay.
Okay, so hopefully this doesn't make you go away. Are you still there, Anthony?
I am.
Oh, good, it worked. Okay, cool. I just got rid of it.
Finally, something that actually worked on a Hangout.
Yeah. So I want to update you guys that we actually had a very frustrating week. So just so you know, it is not always roses in this business. We're right now between my Amazon brands. I have one brand that consistently does between $150,000 and $175,000 a month, and then the other two they're newer, so they're younger and they're smaller. But all together, we do over 200,000 plus on Amazon every month. And when you're at that level, some really bad things can happen. So let me look into my crystal ball here and show you what you guys look forward to. Two nasty things happened, and you guys know of the one of we had a competitor who just insists on not playing the rules fairly and has a collection of hundreds of fake accounts and is using them to leave positive reviews on his own listing and negative reviews on our listing. This, as you can imagine, is the most frustrating thing in the world. It's like trying to deal with a moody girlfriend. There's just no way to win. And the process that we've gone about handling it has just been consistently going to the top, calling Amazon every day, talking to reps at Amazon. But the most helpful thing has really been working with the contacts that we have of who do you know that knows somebody, who do you know that might know somebody that we could contact, in this process of trying to go up and up and up and up the chain. This has happened to us one time before, and we went to just straight to Jeff Bezos' office, and they were able to handle it. It took them about 30 days to handle it, but they finally did handle it. So we're hoping that is the case. The second thing that you guys have to look forward to, and this is a warning because we totally did not see this coming, is about a month ago we had an offer to buy somebody buy us retail. And so we researched the company, and we were all excited because this was a reputable retailer. They ordered 2,000 units of our product. After we ordered it, it showed up on Amazon. Wasn't a retail buy, it showed up on Amazon. So we contacted the person, did some more research, found out that the person misrepresented themselves. They didn't work for the company at all. They were just looking to flip product and make a quick buck. A great little cash scam to have, to buy something at wholesale that you see on Amazon selling really well, turn it around, put it on Amazon where you know it's going to sell because it's already a top product on Amazon. They sell it, they make a quick buck. That hurt. But lesson learned to be very, very, very careful about who you work with and how you research the people who are who are taking your product. Now, this wouldn't have bothered us if it hadn't hurt our sales, but since we then had to compete for the buy box with this guy, half of our sales went to this guy. So we ended up, what we ended up doing, the way we handled it, is that we bought out all their inventory, sent it back to Amazon. Because we didn't want to lose those sales, we didn't want to lose those customers, and most importantly, we did not want the customer experience to be in someone else's. We wanted the customer experience to be controlled completely by us. So that was our week. That was our those are our trials that we faced this week. Usually I try to have good news for you guys, and the good news is that we still are selling. That company is still on pace to do $130,000, $150,000 in sales, even though we've been hit by competitors, and we have scam artists hitting us. That's what's going on. For Sean and I in the yoga brand, we are launching products number 2 and 3. I'm going to mute somebody because there's some nasty feedback here. Is it still there? Oh, Susan was the culprit. Susan, I'm blaming you. So we're launching products number 2 and 3, yoga blocks and yoga towels. And we're using the existing audience that we have from our previous launches, combined with some new advertising that we'll be doing. And in my experience, it's been that product number 2 is always easier than product number 1. In fact, a lot easier than product number 1 because you have that existing customer base, you have those existing nucleus of reviews, you have the seller feedback, which helps you rank higher in search engines and rank faster, and you have a lot more exposure as a result, and things move a lot faster. So the second product is always a lot easier. So we're really excited about that. Unfortunately, it's on a boat somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Should be here first week of July, and that's where we are. So give me an update on where you are and how we can help you get to the next level. Actually, I want to hear from Brian, because Brian, last I heard from you, you had done about $1,000 in sales. I'm not sure what happened since then, and I want to help blow things up for you. Where you at?
Okay, so while you were dealing with your coffee explosion, I was given a quick update to the early joiners. I launched in April. I sold 7 units. I sold 8 in June. I'm ecstatic. My goal was 50 units for June. I'm selling a family of 4 products, so I'm doing something that ASM really said don't do, focus on 1, but out of those 4, 2 are related and 1 I'm ignoring. So, and 1 of them is my main focus. And the reason I started focusing on the second one is without doing anything, I was getting sales on it, almost half the value of the one I was focusing on. So I threw some pay-per-click stuff up there. I've put a process in place, a call for review process. I'm using the ASM email tool to email for feedback. My seller feedback rating's I think 5, all 5 stars. And I had 2 3-star reviews on my main product. And actually one of them was my second customer from April. And he actually left the review as a result of my guy calling him for product review. Ended up being a 3-star review. He told my guy on the call that he wasn't happy with the product. This particular suite of products, it's very subjective to the user. So I refunded his money. He had stated in his review he'd lost the discount code. I gave it to him in a nice email. Hey, from the founder of the company. And he circled back around and bought the other product and actually bought 2 of them. So, you know, that's where I'm at. I don't know what my objectives for July are going to be, but I'm excited. And the next thing I'm going to do is take Joe's template of the Facebook to squeeze page to products, and I've got a couple ninja ideas I'm going to test on that as well. So, update on that probably around the time of the live event in our mastermind.
Very cool. How many reviews are you up to your main products now?
Main product is at 14, and the secondary product's at 8.
Okay, so do you know what I'm going to tell your update? Your objective for July is?
Reviews.
Yeah, right. All that matters,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. So
I'm calling them.
I've been giving out as many free ones as possible to people who will leave reviews until you're at 30 reviews or so. Are you driving Amazon pay-per-click?
I did a quick campaign just to get the that long search URL just to get some ranking. And I got about 50 click-throughs on that, and I think it kind of helped. It's hard to tell, but I am totally focused on calling the people that have bought and getting them to leave reviews.
What about
that process?
Are you driving Amazon PPC? Meaning, are you regularly advertising your list for certain search terms?
Yes. Absolutely. My budget's $150 a day, and I think it's not going $150 a day, but I think I'm spending 10 or 15 a day.
Okay. So this is why you see kind of the exponential jumps happening, is because those reviews carry so much weight that you might make a handful of sales in April, and then in May, when 5 reviews show up, it has this much of an impact. And so you see 40 sales, but then when 10 more come in, it has this much of an impact, and you have the 80 sales. So when you get up to 30, 40, 50 reviews, that's just going to increase conversions that much more, and you're ranking in Amazon. So there's an exponential effect that happens. It kind of looks like it's exponential and then until it finally flatlines, which actually takes a year or two in order to flatline. So that's why you see that jump, and if you continue to be aggressive with your reviews, you'll see that exponential growth continue to happen.
Yeah, I track my unit session percentage daily, and then I look at a lagging 7 and a lagging 30, and my lagging 30 is right around 8 to 9% on my unit session percent.
Okay.
So there's room to improve on conversion.
Yeah, that's not bad. You'll settle when you get all your reviews in, and when you have like 40 reviews, you'll be at probably about 15. So that's a doubling in sales, and that doesn't count the increased traffic and exposure that you'll get as a result of the increase in rankings when you have all those reviews too.
Yep. So I've been running a couple promotions as well. 2 of the products are complimentary, so I was doing a discount, buy the 2 together, get a 15% discount or something like that, and that's actually kicked a couple things too. So
good. I'm excited for you, Brian. Good work.
Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Anything anybody thinks that I should be doing, feel free to message me on Facebook or whatnot. If you have some thoughts or criticism, I'm open to it.
Cool. Would anybody like some feedback on what they're doing right now?
Yeah, right here, Ryan.
Go ahead.
I'm a little stuck between a domestic and I've found suppliers. I've gotten quotes, but I'm kind of stuck in between using a domestic supplier, which I think, obviously they do have the product I want, obviously at a bit higher price, but I'm not sure if the numbers will work. What I'm stuck in between now is will the price that I put on Amazon as my selling price, will that work? So I'm not sure, because the product I want, it's similar to the top selling product right now, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I can sell it at that same price. For example, they're selling it at about $32.99. The product I'm getting, I think, has to be a little bit lower. But my question, I should have started off from the beginning and asking, is it worth it going with a domestic supplier? Even if it's a little bit higher in price?
A couple questions for you. Is it a supplement or something different?
No, it's not a supplement. It's
okay.
It's a physical product. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the price difference between ordering overseas versus ordering domestic?
It's not that much. It's probably, I want to say, right around $250.
Okay. How heavy is the product?
About 2 pounds, just about.
For the love of God, please go domestic.
Even if, because even with the shipping, if I can avoid the headaches, I'll do that. But in terms of pricing it with Amazon, like the actual selling price, I mean, I know you guys said to go ahead and play around with the price and go up a little bit higher, if anything, and just kind of play around with it to see if it sells or not.
Well, I don't quite understand, Nelson. Why does the $2.50 play such a big difference in that pricing when your product, the top person in your industry, is selling it over $30? Why does that $2 make such a big difference?
Well, I'm trying to keep it at 40% when I do it in the profit calculator. I'm trying to keep it at about 40% profit margin. So sometimes when I'm pricing it up, maybe just me, where I think I'm pricing it too high. So my question is, should I go at the same exact price as the top competitor is selling right now?
Probably not to start,
Okay.
but here's my analysis. Shipping is going to end up being an extra dollar per unit anyway, right? So maybe even more, but let's say it's a dollar extra per unit. So at that point, you're looking at, you only have a $1.50, $2 difference between the two, and you get to save about 8 weeks of waiting time where you can be moving product rather than just sitting like this, like Sean and I are doing right now with blocks and towels. We would love to pay an extra $2.50 per unit in order to have them magically show up, but we can't do that. We have to pay the $1 or $2 and then wait like this, for them to show up. So if you want to be open to making a change later, then the difference between the two. And you get to save about 8 weeks. I'm muting you. Wow. Where you could be moving product. Whew. Okay. The one thing you can do is you could order domestic and get things moving and firing, and then go back to the international supplier and say, let's negotiate. Or you can go back to the domestic supplier and say, okay, let's negotiate. I want to order more, but I need $2 less on the unit. So you can. My suggestion would be get things moving as quickly as possible, and you'll move 2 months faster if you go with the domestic supplier than if you go with the overseas supplier, because it's not sitting on a boat somewhere.
Yeah.
That will allow you to get your process in place, start collecting reviews. You may not make as much money, but you can play with the price. You can raise it $2 to see if it makes a difference.
Yeah.
You can raise it $2.50, $1. You can play with it to see what makes sense. But get those systems in place, get some reviews in place, and then if you decide that the margins aren't quite where they need to be, then you can go back and look at ordering overseas or negotiating or doing what you need to do to get your numbers perfect.
Okay. All right. Yeah, kind of what I had in mind, but I think that we're probably going to place the order hopefully by Monday. And
Awesome.
Like I said, my whole thing is just get started. This way I can get on with the marketing. I have most of the stuff up already, but I can't make it live obviously without a product. I would, and one thing I forgot to mention, they do have experience sending over to FBA, so that was a big plus there. So I think I'm gonna go with it on Monday, and I'm just gonna go ahead and place that order and get going and see what happens from there.
I think that's a good call. I think that's a really good call. You see, here's a little bit of perspective for you guys. My men's health and fitness company took its first order June 5th of last year. It currently does about $160,000, $170,000 a month in sales. Sean and I took our first order of yoga mats on Black Friday of last year. So there was a 6-month difference. We started this business 6 months after my men's health and fitness company. This business does between $15,000 and $20,000 a month. Now, the pace of growth has been the same. Actually, with yoga, it might even be a bit faster. Here's the difference. We've had half of our time, maybe even more of half of our time, with units sitting in the ocean waiting to be delivered. That's 3 to 4 months of not being able to take sales, 3 to 4 months of waiting for us to ship out products and do launches. That's 3 to 4 months of waiting to get reviews. And now we've done everything we possibly can to reduce that time, but that's the reality of when you have products on a boat overseas. Now, we're moving forward anyway because Sean and I have a 2 to 3 year window here, and we know that a year from now we'll have 1,000 reviews. will be probably a top 5 seller in yoga, and that market is enormous. It's enormous. So we knew going in that it was going to be a longer time before we could take profit, but that the end result would be we were going to go into an industry where the barrier to entry was a lot higher for other people, so there'd be less competition in the long run, and it would be a much easier, it'd be a sellable company. So we're after the long game here. That's just the difference. We don't have profit margins to start, but we have a sellable company in 2 to 3 years. That's the difference. That's our window for success here. So if you can order domestic to start, or if you have a product that's light enough that you can airlift it over to Amazon rather than have it on a boat, I always recommend that, because Sean and I would be much ahead of the game if we could have had a shorter shipping time. And a lot of our conversations Saturdays at 9 a.m. Central Time are about, is there anything we can do to expedite this process? And if not, what can we do in the meantime while we have products on a boat in the middle of the Pacific? What can we do in the meantime in order to get things ready for sale once they're in our warehouse? So if you can mitigate that by having a product light enough to airlift over, or by ordering domestic, I always recommend starting the process there and doing that for 6 months before rolling over into having things on a boat. Because, well, that was something that I didn't know going into the business, and something that we learned along the way. Who else? Who would like some help on what they're doing? Analysis on what's the next level, what's the next step for them?
Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, everybody. I have some personal issues in the past, and I'm ready to immediately kickstart. I have products on my head. I've already sourced a supplier in China. But the question, because I personally asking you, because the selling price of the top seller it's below $10, and the number third, it's a bundle pack. It's a piece of two pieces. It's selling 20 something. So because I'm afraid if I sell at below $10, it will lose margins to do extra thing. So I'm thinking about move along to sell a bundle pack, so in 2 pieces. But I saw the competitor also, apart from selling bundle pack, they also selling individual pieces. So therefore, they have 2 SKU. One is individual pieces, one is bundle pack. So my question is, should I follow this strategy of my thinking, sell bundle pack at the same time and individual pack? But the question is, if I wanted to follow Joe's strategies to promote, to send traffic from Facebook to Squeeze page, which SKU should I promote, the bundle pack or the individual pack? Okay. So that
question for you: are you locked into this product? Meaning, if you order this product, are you dead set on this product?
I have not yet ordered.
Okay, so I'm always skeptical of any product that sells for less than $20, just because I don't know how people make it work. To this day, I don't know. Like, I've run the numbers 100 times for friends and family who are like, "What's this Amazon business thing? I'm thinking about selling toy gnomes for $5." And every time I run the numbers, I don't understand how people make it work for less than $20. If any of you have a product that's less than $20 and you've run the numbers and you find economies of scale, I would love to hear from you. But I don't know how it happens. But then again, I'm ordering overseas, so we're factoring international shipping and wait time. So I don't know about domestic suppliers. So if you're open to it, I'd encourage you to, well, first of all, to answer your question, if you're going to do this product, I would definitely say do the bundle pack. I would say 100% do the bundle pack as far as your product, like that, as your main product being that. For a giveaway, I don't know how you would manage this. If there was a way that you could just do a giveaway of single units, it would obviously save you half the product inventory to do that. But as far as selling goes, I would 100% recommend you do a bundle pack. So I'm not sure how you would manage that of giving away single units but selling the bundle pack. If you were to only do one, I would say just go for the bundle pack because that's going to end up being over your $20 or over, so your margins might be there. But if you're open to it, I don't know what your product is. If you want to message it to me privately, I'd be happy to look at it for you. But I'm always skeptical of any product that doesn't sell for $20 or more.
The question is, the second question, if I really focus on promoting the bundle pack, it is a good idea to only give away one pieces, but the traffic will be dedicating to the SKU where you send traffic to. So it's difficult if I just give away one pieces. If I really wanted to promote everything to bundle pack, so every promotion, every giveaway, logically should be focused on one SKU only, and just set aside the individual pack, and just leave it as a comparison, and no promotion is it. Then my giveaway has to be double. My trial offer is just like normal $20, something like that. So the single pack is meaningless. It's just to be there and for people to compare, and I don't bother to sell it at all, just according to what you said. I
don't know how to do this, but you guys probably all seen this on Amazon, how there's different buying options about how you can select the size that you want or the color. Brian's about to drop some genius on us. But I wonder if this is going to be an option for Catherine. Brian, I see you raising your hand. What's your genius you want to drop on us?
So thank you, Sean, for helping me this week on another issue related to this. It's called parent-child variations, okay? What you need to do, and I do this because I have multi-packs of my products, so I have a single and I have a multi-pack, okay? But go through the Seller Central help on parent-child ASINs. You have to set up a parent ASIN and then your child ASINs, and you have to do it through flat file uploads. Okay, so for the category you're selling in, get the flat file template, and actually the Seller Central help is pretty good to help walk you through it. If you need some help, direct message me and I can help you. But what happens when you organize it properly, all of your reviews pool together under the parent ASIN. So if you get a review for the child, it shows totaled up for all the children under the parent listing.
Oh, great. Yeah, I would really love to study that. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
Sean, Genius Sean, do you have anything to add to that?
I think there's a way to do it without the flat file, because for our yoga mats, we actually have the black yoga mat that we sell, we have a green and a blue listing, so when we do come out with green and blue, they'll all like kind of bank reviews together. So you could give away, just like Brian was saying, you can give away the single pack, but it'll add reviews to the overall like clump, which means your multi-pack it'll look like it has reviews, but really it's reviews for everything. But I did it without uploading a flat file, but I don't remember how. And it was kind of a pain. So if the flat file is easy, just follow whatever Brian said. But that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Does that give
the other important thing?
Does that give you? That's all right. I'm just making sure that Catherine's getting what she needed as far as solving that issue.
I have the high level idea, but I need to study that. But this is very good input from all you guys. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, if you want to message it to me privately, I'd be happy to look at the industry just to make sure it's something you should pursue. If not, that's totally cool too.
All right. Okay. Sure. I can PM you.
Ryan, quick question.
Yes. Is that Nelson?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
How big of a deal is it? I imagine it is, but when obviously a product is like I'll go to Google search and I'll search for this product with a keyword that I've researched a little bit that I know is obviously relevant to the product. And I mean, this product completely dominates everything from obviously in the organic searches, Amazon, and then it goes to the company's webpage, and I mean they completely dominate that first page. And I've also noticed they're selling on other websites, Wayfair, and from what I think so far, I think Amazon is. I know they mentioned about Amazon buying the product from that supplier or from the seller. I think they're at that stage. I mean, they do have a high number of reviews, and they kind of, they somewhat dominate the space on Amazon when you look for this product. Is that a huge challenge for me to enter? I mean,
so I just want to make sure I understand correctly. You're saying that when you do an organic search in Amazon, they have multiple listings and they're showing up all over the place because they have a pack of 3, they have a pack of 2, they have different sizes, yes. So they're all over the first page, right?
Yeah, and it also says like Amazon's the one. It's saying it's being sold by Amazon or delivered by Amazon, but obviously it's a different brand.
Okay. So Amazon has taken over the marketing of that product.
I believe so. I mean, how is that a huge challenge? Even if let's say I do very well with my reviews and I do everything right to the T, and I did everything to compete with that product. I mean, the fact that Amazon's involved. I mean, is that a hard barrier to entry there?
I mean, I would argue that it's not any harder than having another competitor. Matt Clark told me previously that at one point one of his products reached a level where Amazon was doing all of the marketing, and they started doing all of this split testing and stuff, and their sales were actually hurt as a result because Matt had already done all of the split testing. He already found out what all of the best prices were. And then Amazon went back and had to rediscover it, and their sales were hurt for a while. I'd also argue that if from a natural perspective, if I was shopping on Amazon for a certain product and I saw the same company for every single one, but then there was one different one, I would 100% look at that one that was different, because you have nothing else to compare it to if all you're looking at is different sizes and different amounts. But if all of them are the same and then there's one that's different, psychologically that's a psychological decoy, which means they may or may not buy from you, but they're definitely going to notice you. They're definitely going to look at your product. So I would actually, I don't know about Amazon being involved in the marketing and how that's going to affect it, but from the perspective of it all being one company being sold, that actually gets me really excited. That lets me know there's not a lot of competitors in that space. And I'd actually get really excited about that, because it means you're going to get a lot of traffic, because people are going to be like, okay, give me one other buying option, and they're going to see you, and they're definitely going to look at you.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought process right away, because they have a ton of reviews, but then the next person in line has way under 100 reviews, and like you said, probably out of the top 10 spaces, they probably own about 6, and then there's like 1 or 2 other competitors, but they're not. I mean, they're not killing it. I'll tell you that.
What's their seller ranking?
I can't remember exactly, but they're I want to say 62 in that category.
Okay, what I'd like you to do, Nelson, is while we're working on somebody else, I want you to pull up those other people that are not the same company.
Okay.
And tell us what their BSIN is. Tell us what their ranking is, not in the category, but in the overall Amazon store, or their overall category.
You guys give me a second. I'll do this real quick.
Yeah, we'll move on to somebody else, and then you can report after.
All right, cool.
Cool. Joe, if you're cool with it, I would love to hear the week aftermath of your launch. Like, what happened as far as reviews go, what happened as far as sales, and if they kept up after you were done with the launch.
Well, I'll tell you exactly where I am right now. I am out of stock, so I've burned through the remaining 150 units. This past 7 days, I'm looking at my stats now. Did 90 units over the past 7 days. They're all organic, but I am on the low end. Kind of a funky situation right now because I'm out of stock and I'm trying to fool around with the FBM thing. And I don't have my own, or I didn't have my own buy box, which was a little weird because it's not like I'm competing against anyone. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'll tell you what. Here's a tip to everyone: stay in stock. Don't go out of stock because your sales will dive. I went from about like 17 to 18% conversion rate down to like 6% yesterday, which was ridiculous. So I'm slipping on page 2. I'm like mid-low page 2 at the moment.
Yeah, running out of stock is the biggest deflation that you can have, but sometimes it's inevitable. The good news is you'll recover quickly. It'll take about a week after you're back in stock to be at full force again.
Okay, that's good to know.
Tell us, so you had 150 units back after launch, left after
Yeah,
launch.
something like that, yeah.
How quickly did they sell out?
Well, I think it was yesterday morning or late Thursday. So what's that, 9 days, 10 days, something like that?
Okay, so you were what, selling 15 to 20 a day?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
That's fantastic. For being just launched, that gives me goosebumps. That's exciting. What the top person in your market? What's his BSIN? Like what's his like how high does he rank? How many units per day do you estimate he's selling?
Estimate anywhere from 80 to 100, I think. He dominates the niche right now.
80 to 100 dominating a niche means a fairly small niche. My projection is if you're already at 20, you'll be taking him over pretty quickly.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, cool. Also, one more question for you. I saw 19 animals walk by while you were talking. Have you claimed a free cat scratcher?
I'm going to now that we have 3 cats, a dog.
All right, cool. In case you all don't know, I'm working on my girlfriend's her cat brand. The name is the Meow Mommy, which she came up with. I thought it was a fantastic name. And her first product is cat scratchers. So if any of you have cats and would like a free cat scratcher, message me for your free coupon code. You know the drill. You have how many cats, Joe?
3.
You have 3 cats. Oh. I didn't know I was a cat person until I started dating Pamela, and now she'll text. I talked to them.
You have no choice, Brian.
I yelled at them last night, like, "How dare you tip over the cat feeder?" I'm one of those people.
Ryan, quick update here. The top selling product, the one that I was referring to, they're in the top 20. They're actually at 16. Now the next 2 that follow them, one is at 2,900, the other one's at 11,000.
Okay,
so in that category, in the top category.
At 2,900, you're selling like 20 per day, maybe a little bit more, maybe 30 per day. You really, a full-time business is when you're selling 50 units a day or more. So I was hoping they'd be higher, but I still think that you're gonna be just fine. I think if most of the top people are the same company, I think you're gonna be able to step in there pretty quickly.
All right, cool.
It surprises me though that if they're number 2 and 3 on the search page, why they're so far down on the list? Why are they? Like, what are they ranked in their own specific category?
No, they're very high on their specific categories. They're, like I said, 16 in their category.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. 16 is still, I mean, if they're on the first page of the search results, correct?
Yes. Once I type in that keyword, I mean, they're the first 2. As a matter of fact, the top 2 is the same company, with 2, which I find weird, with 2 different price points, and it looks like the same product to me. One's at $3,150, the other one's at $2,750.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's just what I'm saying is it sounds a little bit interesting that somebody can be on the first page, but they are not ranking that high in the actual category.
I see what you're saying.
They're not in the top 10. That's just interesting to me. That lets me know that there's some room there in the middle. To be honest with you, if somebody is 19 or whatever it was in their category and their BSIN is 2,900, that's actually really encouraging. That means that even though they're not even in the top 20, or they're in the top 20 but towards the end, they're still selling 20 to 30 units a day. That's actually fairly encouraging.
Okay. Gotcha.
What I'm saying is it sounds a little bit whoa. Somebody to be on the first page. Sorry, Yuri, I had had to mute you. You had an echo bigger than the Grand Canyon. So when you've got a question, just go ahead and let me know, and you can unmute yourself. I'm just looking at the questions. Great question from Pat Welsh, and this is good for Sir Chucksalot as well, which is some advice on copywriting advice on bullet points and the description. Yes. So I have a formula that's always worked really well for me as far as bullets and description. It looks like this. You can look at our yoga pages for examples on this. The bullets will look like this. Benefit at the beginning in capital letters. For example, benefit being 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Or benefit being 4.5 out of 5 stars. Or most highly reviewed product on Amazon, or whatever it is. We have one product that has the best reviews in its category on Amazon. We use that copy. In all capital letters, followed by an explanation of why that's the case. Do that all the way down. In your description, always start with a positive quote about the product, preferably from a product review that someone has left, or about an ingredient in the product, an aspect of the product that someone else has said. For example, before all this Dr. Oz noise happened, if you were selling Garcinia Cambogia, the opening quote may be, this may be the greatest weight loss breakthrough in history, Dr. Oz. Start with a quote in your description. That is the first part, followed by basically a restatement of the bullets and a call to action. Click add to cart now to start blank now. That's my formula. Capital letter bullets followed by explanation. In all of your bullets, start with a quote in your description. That is the formula that we have always followed. Now, Sir Chucksalot, you had me look at your bullets, and I tried to explain that to you in text. I don't think it came through. So that is the formula for good bullets. Okay. Robbie, I see your question on the thread. He says he has a product that will cost $5 shipping to the U.S. If that's per unit, that's really high. C shipping would be 5 cents per unit. I decided to go air as I want to run things faster. My profit would eventually be 300%. I don't know what the heck you're selling that would have 300% profit margins. Heads up, look at the volume of that product. But if you've got 300% profit margins, by all means, start with air shipping and then switch over to sea shipping once you have your systems and processes in place. But if you've got a 300% profit margin, go for it. Kevin asks, he's got 3 to 4 strong competitors. They're priced between $18 and $20. My thought process is the pricing should be the same, but to start slightly higher, like $22. Premise is that some people assume that higher the price, the better the product. Your thoughts? I agree 100%. I think that is a good strategy. If most people are competing at the same level, they're going to look at two things. They're going to look at the most expensive, they're going to look at the most reviews, and they're going to look at the cheapest. So if you're looking for a way to differentiate yourself, I say 100% you should be going for higher price. That's one of the reasons, Joe, why I think when you're back in stock, you need to raise that price like immediately stat yesterday, 100%.
Yeah, I intend to. I just right now with the inventory situation and being on, sliding on page 2, I just wanted to leave it be.
Yeah, there is some benefit to going for volume when you begin because you get more exposure to reviews. Amazon ranks you faster when you have that momentum of volume. So there is something to be said about lowering your price, but as soon as that starts to flatline, raise that price for your profit margins, 100%. I'd like to hear from Sir Greg's a lot. Last we spoke, I think you were just about to order it or it had just shipped.
Yeah, actually it just shipped on Tuesday, so we had to wait for our DHL account to get finalized, and that happened. And we've got 3 different types of samples coming from 2 different manufacturers, and they're supposed to be here Tuesday. So everything looks good. We're going to immediately go with an order, and even though I've quoted what the eventual piece order out to be, which is $4,000 for air versus $500 by sea, I think I'm still going to do the air just to get moving quicker and do what your plan is.
Okay.
But I guess one of my questions is how do you know until you really start seeing your sales volume of when to order if you're going to be going by sea, just so you're not running out of stock? Because that seems like that's a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, it's really as soon as possible. As soon as you're comfortable with the expense is when you want to do it. Unfortunately, there's not like a science to it. It's hard to predict now, but this is why I say the bigger the order that you can place when you begin, the better you are, because you can have more time to figure that out, to figure out what that pace of sales is going to be. But there's really not a good way to predict it until you do see sales. But I say as soon as possible. Keep as much in there as you can.
Okay. And, you know, when evaluating your competition, you kind of touched on it where you'll see the #1 person that's ranking, say, in the top 1 to 500 of the main category. But then, you know, the #2, #3, #4 guys, they rank 2,000 and up. So in that case, you see that as a good opportunity?
Well, in Nelson's case, he was saying that he had, excuse me, that like the number 14 or 15 person was still selling, was still ranking 3,000 or so. If the number 2 or 3 is that low, it's not necessarily that's not necessarily an opportunity. That means that you've got to be in the top 3 in order to see any significant volume.
Okay.
With Nelson's case, he was saying that way down on the list, they were still ranking like 3,000 around that area. So not necessarily is it a good opportunity.
And
Not
then
necessarily a bad opportunity.
Yeah, good. So the final question I got is, being that we're getting close to our first actual product shipment, I've got a friend that has a warehouse pretty close to where I live at that I could initially have the product shipped. I don't know how comfortable I am just having it drop shipped directly from the manufacturer to Amazon, and I was just kind of curious what everybody's experience has been that's either tried that or they elected to do something different like Earth Class Mail or just have it shipped to them directly.
I don't quite follow. Could you explain that for me one more time?
So I know Amazon's got these requirements of how they have to receive the product, and since it's coming from China and we don't have a comfort yet until we start, corresponding with them more, do you typically just right out of the chute when you're dealing with a manufacturer for the very first time and they're overseas, trusting them to ship the quantity to Amazon in the manner that it needs to be, or do you touch it first?
You're ordering from overseas, right?
Yep.
We have them shipped to a shipping company who then handles all of it.
And that would be something like Earth Class Mail. Have you heard of it?
Earth Class Mail is a mail service that scans your mail for you.
Yeah, but they're affiliated with ASM, and they can receive your product. They can take pictures of it, send it to you. They can repackage it, and then send it on. So I've had a couple of discussions with them, but I guess they're just so overconsumed right now because evidently ASM is promoting them. And
Are you sure that's Earth Class Mail?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've used Earth Class Mail for years, but I use them as a PO box. So when I'm traveling, they scan my mail for me.
Yeah, we talked to a rep there, and he said they've got a service that's pretty much designed just for people that do stuff on Amazon.
Interesting. I know nothing about this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just kind of curious because right now I don't have a comfort level that when if the samples look good and we place our order, I don't have a comfort level that it's going to the initial product order is going to ship to Amazon and they're going to be totally satisfied with the way it's packaged and everything else. So, I just feel like I need to be in the middle of it.
The same thing. We took samples. We got a final sample, and then we did indeed Just have them send the whole lot straight over to Amazon. What Sean and I did when we started. Right, Sean?
Yep, that's correct.
All right, well, we're getting close. The tea kettle is brewing.
Good. Glad to hear that. We got a few minutes left, so anything else you guys want to cover, or simply want to go about getting to the next level? I'm also going to look at the comments on the page.
I got a question that you or Sean may or may not have an answer for.
Sure.
Or anyone that has got their product live and has been making phone calls for reviews with the follow-up. Have you found a particular time of day or certain day you actually get customers more than others on the phone versus leaving a message?
Afternoon.
Afternoon?
Yeah.
During the week or weekend?
During the week.
During the week.
Kelly Underdahl asks, how much higher should we price our units? Average price of our product, of our competitors, is $15. We were thinking launching of $20 or higher. Thoughts? That really depends on the type of product it is that you're selling. Is $5 for a lot of things over what you would expect? No. Yeah, it would totally depend on the product, though. So it's difficult for me to say. Dimitri asks, what is your thought on sales business strategy? Push out volume versus profit. So for when you're starting, I'd go volume. After you have finished starting, I'd go profit. It's the same psychology and same reasoning behind why Sean and I came up with the launch idea and giving away things for free, is because we wanted reviews, we wanted to raise up in the rankings. So we were okay even taking a loss every unit in order to get the volume out there. Same reason why Joe did a launch where he gave things away for $1. So I would start with volume and then switch it to profit once you've gotten reviews, once you have gotten volume in the search engines. That's where the difference is. Good. What else, Drive? How many of you are you going to ASM in July?
Be there.
Most of you. Yuri's going.
Yeah.
Let me see, Yuri. I'll have a hard cider, and everyone else have a beer in your honor. Catherine, will you be there?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Where are you based, Catherine?
I'm in Hong Kong.
You're in Hong Kong. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's it like having because do you have access to all the suppliers there? Is it easier for you?
Oh, it's so easy. I just go there about 2 hours by train into Dongguan to China. So I visit the factory, and the factory is the world's largest one. So the quality is the best. So it's really communicate. It's no problem.
So this is my entrepreneurial brain at work, Catherine. You might have a nice little business positioning yourself in ASM as the girl who goes and checks out everybody's inventory. Like, look at this. Do you know?
I'm
Sean,
willing to hire her.
Yeah, Sean, I would have paid $500, $1,000 to have somebody go talk to the supplier, take some pictures of our inventory, make sure that everything was on time, like make sure that it was real product. Like I would have paid that in a heartbeat if there was a girl who was like, hey, I do that for a living. And there's 5,000 ASMers. I can imagine you, like over a weekend, having 10 clients, going into China, taking a weekend, walking out, taking some pictures, and then collecting $10,000. Like I think that would be a really cool little business for you.
Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah. So how can I start it? Post it.
Yeah, the first thing you do is you post in the tribe and you go, hey tribe, if any of you are going overseas, I'm looking to test the services of a new potential business. I plan on charging $1,000 for this. I'll do it for $250 for tribe members to start. I'll take pictures of your inventory. I'll get in touch with the supplier. I'll make sure that everything is that they're legitimate. I'll look at their factory to make sure that they produce quality products, and I'll take pictures of everything that they've made so that we can see that it's legit. Like, think of somebody like Greg, who just said, I'm a little bit nervous about the product that they're going to be producing in mass. So people like that are ideal for you to go, I'll go look at their supplier, and I'll tell you if everything checks out. You go over there, board the train, come out with all your samples, and then we all say how awesome you are, and I promote you on stage in July. That's how you start. Okay, cool. Catherine's saying that.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, so then I will highly consider to go to Las Vegas. Yeah.
Catherine, it's actually a two-step. One is a supplier qualification up front, and then there's a shipment inspection. And if you do it a couple times, you'll be able to put a process around it and then scale it by hiring somebody to do it for you. But I wouldn't do that out of the gate.
Yeah, sure.
Imagine this idea. Imagine Catherine as the supplier broker. So here's what she does. Instead of people going to Alibaba and looking at reviews and such, they go to Catherine and they say, Catherine, I'm looking to buy this, this, and this at this price. And Catherine goes, I know this factory, and this factory. Let me call them. Calls them all, and then for a fee, connects with the best Catherine-approved supplier with her stamp on it she's worked with, she knows produces good products. Like, how many of you would rather go through that person than...
I do that all day.
Yeah, 100%. I would do that. She's like, I've been to the factory. I'm getting all pumped up right now.
How do I get a cut out of this? How do I get
And Catherine just approves the suppliers that she knows do really good work, and then she gets a kickback from the supplier. The supplier sends her, 5% of whatever's ordered, and she charges an upfront fee from the person that does the work. So she gets $500 to start the research, and she gets 5% of whatever's ordered from that person. Catherine, oh my goodness!
Business model.
If you don't do this by yourself, contact me because I'll help you set it up and we'll work something out. This is such a good idea.
That's a cool thing. Yeah, some of this tribe already. I already consulted and helped one.
Say again.
I already helped one of them, another tribe member. I checked for the website and because I know the language Chinese, they have a really crappy site. And then one of the tribe members decided to go away from this supplier and find another one. So that even I browsed the site, and it is so many things I can help. Yeah, a really cool thing.
There's some people on the thread who are saying that they would use your services too. I'm telling you, Catherine, if you just had a service where you found quality suppliers based on what people were looking for, that is, you would have a profitable business overnight.
Wow! So
I'd like to see them move to Hong Kong and do it.
Catherine, I have an international student from China who I coach football, and he's new to it. So I'm trying to get him to translate for me. So I mean, just being there itself, would be a huge thing. So I'm trying to convince him. I just can't communicate with him yet. But that'd be awesome.
Yes.
That's such a good idea. You're like, I'm an ASMer, and I'm in China. I'll research suppliers for you, find the best price, negotiate based on who I know produces high quality products. It's $500, and then you take 5% of whatever they order.
Ooh. I can source product at the fingertips, and in many anyway. Yeah.
Well, you realize, Catherine, that's the biggest obstacle for most people in this business.
You know what? My product sourced from Canton Fair. So
Yeah.
you don't get it until you visit the Canton Fair. My supplier couldn't find it in Alibaba at all because Alibaba only have some trading company. So you will never find the real manufacturer behind it. You won't see it if you just browsing.
Yeah. Catherine, expect a Facebook message from me shortly after we hop off this call, because I think this is a fantastic idea, and it'd be a service that if like somebody like I could offer that to the people who come to me for that need help with Amazon businesses, I'd be recommending people over to that service all day long. Like everybody on this call is going, you need to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all excited.
So, Catherine, I think your decision was just made for you. You need to put this business together and go to Vegas in July.
Yeah, I definitely think you should come to Vegas and just mention that as an idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I should have booked the ticket. Yeah, I need to do some confirmation. Yeah.
Great.
I do so. Yeah.
Well, now I'm in business idea land. By the way, since we've talked, since Sean and I do these calls together, this is where we're partnering really is. Sean put it as 2 + 2 = 5. Where Sean before was talking about parent-child, whatever that was, I have no idea. He was speaking Cantonese there. Like I don't have a clue. Parent-child setting up the flat line ship file, whatever you call it. I have no idea. Like my head wants to explode. But and Sean is like, Ryan, you're like, give me 2 minutes and a cup of coffee and I'll have this done. And I'm like, well, thank God for Sean. And then things like this, where I'm seeing an opportunity, it's easy for me. Literally, give me 2 minutes and a cup of coffee, and I think we just mapped out a full-time business for Catherine in 5 minutes. So this is where we're partnering with people who don't have your skills. Is really beneficial. Whereas, I would have done the yoga business if it wasn't for Sean. Sean would have never started the yoga business if it wasn't for me. And there's a lot of appreciation between the two of us. Sean would still be he still is drop shipping movie screens from Target.com. And I wouldn't have a business. I never would have started my men's health and fitness company if it wasn't for Matt, because I never would have printed out the damn shipping label, because that sounds like an afternoon of hell to me. Like seriously, going into those details, I'd rather put flames down my throat than figure out how to print out shipping labels. Where Matt's like, okay, and I just want to come up with ideas all day long. So there's something very powerful to partnering with people who have very opposite skills as you. And Catherine, just so you know, Karen, David, another David, Kelly, MJ on the thread all just said they want to use your services.
Oh, cool.
So
I never saw such popular businesses.
Add another one.
Yeah. Add Greg, Ken, myself. There you go.
Yeah, give me your wish list. I can fulfill this supplier qualification for you.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
This is about as much fun as I've had on a Hangout, mostly because we just ended with me being able to be in Idea La La Land. But I want to say, this happens around this time in ASM. I've done it 3 times now, and it happens right around this time. I am so damn impressed with y'all. Where look at everybody on this call right now. Just look at the bottom. Brian's doing sales every day. Catherine just magically got a full-time business mapped out for her. Greg has product on his way, is getting samples. Joe just did a launch, and he's already sold 500 frickin' units. Ken, I'd like an update on you. Last I heard, you were like about to update, or they were on a boat somewhere. Is that right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, my product is actually with FBA. There's about 90 units there. I started with 100, so I actually have 10 out. I'm just trying to get the reviews. I don't know.
All right, cool. We're gonna come back to this because I want to get a good launch plan for you. Nelson's placing orders and has his profit margin space, has domestic supply ready. So I'm just damn impressed with y'all that there's literally 100% action taking rate, which means 100% success rate for the people on this call. Like, compare that to people who bought, well, even the products that I put out a few years ago when I was really involved in the internet marketing space, where you were lucky if you got a 5% action taking rate. You were lucky if you got a 20% rate of people who actually consumed the product. So I'm damn impressed with the participation rate, with the action taking rate, with the success rate. This never happens, but when you get a group of people together like, and you're all making sure that everybody's on the right track, it just magic happens, and I'm always impressed. So kudos to all of you guys. Ken, let's war room where you're at right now and get you to the next level. You did 100 units as your first order. You've sold 10.
Yes. 2 of those were just organic sales, and then 3 of them were giveaways, and then the rest were friends.
Okay.
That, for some reason, still have not left a review and driving me nuts.
So do you have any reviews at all?
No, none.
Okay. So I would be more aggressive with your giveaway strategy. Is it expensive for you to give them away?
It's not that it's that expensive. It's just I have a Facebook page, a niche page that has about 1,000 likes that I plan to push to again this week. I just want to build a squeeze page, which I haven't gotten to yet. I'm also going to get 100 units to Amazon hopefully this week as well, another 100. So I can be more aggressive with those giveaways. I just got to be careful because I work full time and I want to be able to monitor. I just don't want something slipping through the crack where someone posts my coupon code and diminishes all my inventory with a giveaway, which on one hand would be great, but then on the other hand, I have no money to reorder inventory again.
Okay, so here'd be my recommendation, Ken. Rather than putting off action, let's take some really, really small action steps. So use your Facebook page that has 1,000 likes and do a giveaway of 10, and just do it as like a little test. You can do a big push later. You can do a big launch later, but just make an announcement that you're giving away 10, and the first 10 people to email you at whatever email address will get the coupon code. Give out the
June 6th, the first day after the product went live, and I only had 3 people respond.
Okay. Yeah, then you have the audience just isn't very responsive right now, so you might need to boost the post, or you might need to reach out to people individually, people who post on the wall, people who are new likes, people who are active in the interaction. You might have to reach out to them personally. But give away 10 on the Facebook page and follow up with them individually, and then close the coupon code and do a big launch later. But rather than kind of wait to take all these actions, I would say, what can you do now to get 5 reviews?
Right.
What can you do now to give away 10? And then spend all of your energy should be on that specifically.
Yes. Yeah, I'm actually trying to fight with myself to call some of these other people, but I'm not a phone person, but I'm trying to just make myself do it.
Then send an email.
Yeah, I have the email set up through ASM, the email tool, so that's sending them. And actually, the very first person that actually purchased the product full price, I lowered the product like $3 on the price. I sent her a $5 gift card.
Nice.
Followed that up saying, we just wanted to thank you for being a customer. We had lowered our price to show you our appreciation. Accept this $5 gift card. Then followed that with the message from the founder of the company, me, asking for a review. Still nothing.
Interesting. Try this. Try emailing them and ask for feedback about the product.
Yeah, I asked that in the email. I actually said, we'd like to hear feedback from you being a new product, a new company. We want your feedback. Email us, and gave my email address to try to intercept it first in case it was bad before she goes to Amazon. Still just haven't even heard anything from her.
Well, this is the problem. most people delete every email they get from Amazon because they're such repeat buyers on Amazon. Like I do it, your order is shipped, delete, 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 feedback request, delete, 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 delete. So there's no use wasting your time on people who don't open those emails. So try asking a question in the email. How has your experience been? Just wanted, hey, this is so-and-so from so-and-so company. Just wanted to make sure that your order arrived on time. Would you email me back and let me know that it arrived? Question mark. If they respond, then you have a responsive person that you can work with. If they don't respond, then there's no need to keep following up with them or to send them gift cards or do whatever, because they're probably not seeing the messages in the first place.
Right.
So look for those responses, and then you can work at reviews. But also, like, be really aggressive with friends and family. Like you have people that would do you a favor of buying and leaving a review, right? So hustle those first 5, those first 10, do whatever it takes. Ask for people in the tribe to give you feedback. There's 5 people in the tribe who will leave you a product review. So hustle those first 5, 10 reviews, and then you'll have a little bit of momentum to keep you moving forward.
Yeah, because my biggest obstacle was with the friends and family. My family, I live in Florida. All of my family's in PA, and there's a paper trail between us because they all send gifts, so Amazon has us connected. So I don't think that I could have them leave a review. I don't know if Amazon would even allow it because, like I said, there's a big trail between my family and I in Amazon.
May I coach you for a second, Ken?
Yes.
My suggestion would be to do it anyway.
Okay.
Now, might they remove the review? Yeah. Happened to my girlfriend last week. Her sister and her sister's boyfriend left reviews. They got deleted. She got all discouraged. I was like, keep moving forward, sweetie. It's a new business. Okay. So I would say rather than worry about what could happen, move forward and expect mistakes, but know that they're a process and a long-term view of a successful business. So my interpretation of what's going on is that there's a lot of analysis going on. Mm-hmm. That analysis will go away once you have some forward momentum. So mistakes are going to happen. They're inevitable no matter how much you analyze it. So I would say, what is the smallest action step that you can take to get some feedback? And operate there, knowing that if something bad happens, it's going to happen. Keep taking another small action step towards progress. Because right now, you're frozen. You've got no momentum in any direction, so it's really hard to steer you. So I would get some momentum, because then we can hop on these calls next week and the week after that, and we can steer you a lot faster. But it's hard to be steering you in the right direction when you're kind of frozen up. They might remove that review. I'm waiting for launch. I'm worried that Amazon's going to see the paper trail here. Just get some momentum going, and then we can steer and correct that in future calls.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, with the reviews, I think my biggest fear was just getting my account blocked. But maybe they don't do that.
No, that won't happen.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
You've got friends and family. You've got the tribe. I'm gonna raise my voice at you if you don't have 5 reviews the next time we chat.
Okay.
Because five reviews is easy. 5 reviews is easy as long as you recognize that it's easy and you call up a few people for some favors. That's easy. Post it on your personal Facebook. Post it in the tribe. Go to your friends and family. Email your customers. 5 reviews just happens.
Okay. Cool.
That's your assignment this week. Anything else before we hop off, everybody?
No.
Nope, good info. Appreciate it.
We're good. Thank you, Ryan.
I'm just looking at the thread. Gail asks, have you done brand registry for all your products? Yes.
To do the brand registry with Amazon, you have to have a website set up. They look at that.
Okay. I don't know.
Sean said yes. So.
Yeah.
Gail says, please tell Catherine I will hire her.
Thank you.
Susan, Catherine Catherine, Susan said, Catherine, I'm not going to Vegas and I haven't canceled my reservation. I got the per night rate that they have for the block. Maybe we can transfer the reservation to you somehow.
Oh, thanks.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for attending again. I'm damn impressed with y'all, and I continue to be. So thanks so much for making this so much fun, and I will speak to you next week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for helping us out,
Later,
Ryan.
Ryan. Later, guys.